Hey, what's up, family? It's Coach Josh. Just want to do a quick video on friends. I'm getting a lot of messages from you all, as well as this has been a prevalent discussion amongst my students at school. And I thought, let me go ahead and do a quick video that will help us all better select our friends. Most of these points are coming from my latest book, Counterfeit or Counterpart, where I talked about in this book about there are such things as counterfeit friends. The word counterfeit is anything that you try to force fit in your life. The goal in life is for us to select counterparts, things that God places on the counter of our lives that play a major part in our lives. And friends are one of those things. Let's get right into it. A friend is someone that's there with you to the end. If you look at the word friend, the root word of it is end. Anyone who doesn't have the ability to endure is not established to be a good friend. Unfortunately, in our society today, we have loosened the value and the potency of the word friend. Many of us have selected frauds as friends, and we wonder why our lives are fraudulent. Because anyone who is a fraud is not going to be able to be faithful to you or fruitful with you. But unfortunately, when we look at society, the word friend has been loosely given. When you look at our social media, on Facebook, we select friends. On Instagram, we have followers. Not everyone that you select as a friend is a friend. When you have an abundance of anything, it dilutes the importance of a thing. So when you have a society that's making friends and followers become empty phrases or terms, then most people are going to look at someone who doesn't even know themselves as their own friend. Who are your friends? You heard the saying, show me your friends and I show you your future. And many of us, our futures are growing dimmer and dimmer by the day because our friends are dull and dull by the day. See, iron sharpens iron. If you want to cut through life, you have to first be sharpened. But unfortunately, a lot of us are in the wrong drawers. If you are the sharpest knife in your drawer, it's time to change drawers. Meaning that if you're the only sharp knife in amongst your friends, then how will you ever endeavor to be sharpened and cut through life? It's our job to make sure that we have the proper order of friendship. See, I have this thing that I tell people often. Your first friend must be God. If you're not allowing God to be your friend, or if you're not friendly to God and God is not your best friend, how will you endeavor to be friendly to others as well as select the right friends? God must be your best friend. The issue with most people, the reason why they are surrounded by people who are not really their friends is because they are not their own friend. They don't like to be alone. See, loneliness is the overindulgence mentally on the idea of being alone. See, ladies and gentlemen, God is omnipresent. God is a present help in a time of trouble. God is a present help in a time of triumph. God is always present. God is more present than Siri. God is more present than Amazon Echo. God is more present. And when we understand the presence of God and that God's presence is not to tally our sins, but to help us to win, then we will actually understand that we are never alone. Listen, you are not alone. Most people are in these fraudulent friendships because they do not want to face their own loneliness, or not their own loneliness, but to face the fact that God is there. Listen, when you befriend God, he'll teach you how to be your own friend. There's an order to friendship. God must be your best friend. And secondly, you must be your best friend. Listen, I love me. I love me. I don't mind who comes in or comes out of my life. I love me because the perfect love of God casts out all fear. And the reason why we have these friendships that are inappropriate or fraudulent is because we are afraid of being alone. But when you allow the perfect love of God to perfect you and make you whole and to see that you're fearfully and wonderfully made and that you are able through him to do anything that he has called you to, then you wouldn't mind being alone. Because it's in that alone place where you get to know God and understand that he's been more faithful to you than any friend. And when you understand that, you will let him in and you will dwell with him and you will get to know him. And then in the process of getting to know God as your best friend, then you will be a better friend to you. And then you will know how to select the right friends. And then you will know how to be friendly. And then you will be a little bit more cautious when it comes to selecting your friends. Because not everyone that's around you is there to be a friend for you. And listen, there's a lot of people right now that's around you that's not there for you. Look at Jesus' life. Jesus had the crowd. He had the Pharisees. He had the 70. He had the 12. And within that 12, he had 3. But ultimately, he had 1. The crowd was there around him just to get from him. The crowd was only there for a free biscuit and fish meal or a free chicken and biscuits meal. But they were there for the miracles, but they wasn't there for the master. He also had the Pharisees. In life, you're going to have people that's going to hate on you. He had people that was envious of his platform because he knew that his platform was going to topple theirs. He also had the 70 individuals that he selected to do ministry. From that 70, he had his 12. He had the 12 that he selected, but even within that 12, he had a Judas. But even within that 12, he had 3. If you look at the mountain of transfiguration, he only brought 3 disciples with him, meaning that you're only going to have a certain amount of people that you can truly be yourself in front of. But the most important relationship that Jesus had, or connection or friendship he had, was with his Father. Often he went alone to pray. Often he went alone to be with his Father. And when you process through that order, then you will understand how to navigate in life. Number one friend you should have is God. And in him, he will rejuvenate you and show you how to be a friend of yourself. And if you look in a particular text in the Bible, it talked about how Jesus did not entrust himself to everyone because he knew the heart of everyone. And since we have the Spirit of God in us, we actually have the ability to discern what's in other people. See, I let the Holy Spirit scan individuals that are attracted to me. And you have to understand this also. Not everyone that's attracted to you wants to help add to you. Most people that are attracted to you want to subtract from you. You must understand that. See, there's a difference between Joshua Ejike Eze and the difference between Coach Josh. Coach Josh is very attractive online. People like to be around him. People love to glean from him. People want advice from him, coaching from him, etc. But when it comes to Joshua Ejike Eze, not too many people have the grace or the bandwidth to handle me. Not everyone has the patience to endure with me. So when you know God, you know yourself, and you know your calling, then you will know and be able to discern or allow the people God has delivered into your life as your friend, because you know not everybody has the endurance, the ability to endure to be your friend. So who's attracted to you? Are they subtracting from you, or are they adding to you? But Jesus' best friend was his Father. He said, I only do what I see my Father do. And in himself, he understood his value and his worth. For the Father allowed the Spirit of God to descend on him like a dove. And he said, this is my Son in whom I am well pleased. When you know that you are God's daughter and that you're God's son and that he loves you and he validates you, then you can actually progress from those waters into the wilderness and into the proximity of your purpose, confidently knowing that I am who I am because of God. And in that, that's where my value is. And when I know my value, when I know my purpose, and I know I have been validated by God, then I'm not too quick to select my friends. I'm not too quick to entrust myself to others, because I know not everyone can handle me. He had God that he was willing to be alone with. He had 3 that he transfigured in front of, and the rest had their place. Listen, you're only going to have half of a friend, a half of a hand to be your friend. Not everybody who's around you right now is your friend. I have an insert from my book that I want to read. I don't have many friends, and I'm content with that. And I am not a friend to everyone, and I'm satisfied with that. Being a friend and being friendly are 2 different things. I am friendly with everyone, but not a friend to everyone, because being a friend is a free job. You don't get paid monetarily to be a friend. There are going to be seasons where you will have to work overtime and other seasons where you are off. Imagine having to be a friend to 7 people who are all leaning on you to be there for them. It may be time for you to make some cuts and to cut away from some of your friendships. That's very important to understand. Being a friend is a free job, and people are benefiting off of their friendship from you. And imagine being friends with multiple people. Imagine the magnitude of that load and the heaviness of that. And I'm going to read it again. I don't have many friends, and I'm content with that. And I am not a friend to everyone, and I'm satisfied with that. You have to be okay with that. Being a friend and being friendly are 2 different things. You have to understand that. Being a friend and being friendly is 2 totally different things. It's okay to be friendly, but it's not okay to make everyone your friend. See, I am going to be cordial. I'm going to be nice. Everyone deserves some level of access to my love, but not everybody deserves access to my heart. There's a difference. Many of us are giving our heart and our love on the same platter. No, not everyone deserves access to your heart. Your heart is your most precious and prized possession. It's the core of who you are. And many of us are giving ourselves away to individuals who don't even know their own way. And we're allowing ourselves to be suffocated in the process. So it's okay to be friendly. It's okay to be cordial. It's okay to be nice. And I know people have hurt you in the past, but that shouldn't dictate how you treat people that's in front of you. So be friendly, be kind, but don't make everyone your friend in time. Now, let's get to some points here quickly on how to know they are a true friend. How to know they are a solid friend. I have FRIEND. I have 6 points that proves they are a good friend from my book, Counterfeit or Counterpart. Number 1, F, they are following God too. So you know I said 2. You got to be following God in order to know who's a friend for you, right? But a real friend, a person that's a friend, is following God too. I have an answer here. If they are not following God, then their thoughts and advice aren't either. Examine their fruit to see if they are sincerely following Jesus. That's important. You got to look at your friends and see, are they faithful to God? Because if they're not faithful to God, they won't be faithful to you. If they're not faithful to God, how will they have fruitful words for you that will help you bear fruit in your life? Second point, R, they are ready and eager to help. Real friends are committed and support at the level of their ability. Notice, at their ability. You got to make sure God is your friend first, because he is the one that's your source or supply. The reason why there's an unbalance in friendships is because there's too much of a need for that person to be that God to them. See, when you put God-like expectations on people, it breaks them. When you make people a God to you, or you make people to be the only doctor to heal you, then that person will be unable or incapable to help you. So you have to make sure that God is your supply, that God is your sustainability, so that you will know what level of ability to give to others and what ability that a person have. Because so many of us, we are expecting people to be more to us than they are capable. And we actually lose friends because we're burning them out, or we are losing ourselves because we're burnt out being somebody else's friend. But a real friend is still ready and eager to help. They are ready and eager to help. They help with and celebrate your ideas. They help with and celebrate your ideas. Reliable friends support your dreams, and not with just words, but with action and money. Any friend that asks for a discount is not a real friend. A real friend buys 2 or 3 of everything you offer if they are able. And when you win, they celebrate. And when you fail in the development of your idea, they help elevate you to get back to it. A real friend helps with your ideas. E, they are not envious or jealous of your growth. That's very important. A real friend is not envious, E, or jealous of your growth. Your growth inspires them, not expires them. See, a real friend is inspired by your growth, not expired by your growth. If they're pulling away because you're growing, it's because you're outgrowing them. Your growth inspires them, not expires them. Real friends grow with you. Fake friends slow with you. Meaning they don't want you to become too much because they feel they will lose you. That's why people hate when you grow, because you mean more to them than you should. They don't want you to become too much because they feel they will lose you. If you lose them while you're growing, then it proves they were never your friends. N, they respect your no and help you say no. No is a complete sentence, and real friends recognize it. A person who loves your yes more than they understand your no is not a real friend. Let me repeat that. A friend who loves your yes more than they understand your no is not a real friend. Also, real friends help you say no. They help you say no to anything that doesn't line up with God's character or word. A real friend helps you say no, and they respect your no. Let's keep going. D, last point. Real friends are disciplined and are developing personally. In other words, they're distracted by their own destiny. You don't want to be with a friend that's overly consumed with your life. You want a friend that has their own life. You don't want a friend that you yoke up with and you unequally yoke with them, and you're the stronger friend and you're pulling them and you pulling the carriage. See, you want a friend that's distracted by their own life. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to come a part in life where your friend's going to need you. And I told you it's a free job. And God will give you the capacity and the grace to be that friend for them in a weak time. But if it's multiple seasons, multiple years, and that individual's pulling on you and they're becoming a dead weight, then that person is not disciplined and developing in their own life. A real friend is distracted by their own life. They're out there pursuing their own destiny. And so that's important. Real friends are disciplined, meaning they are not going to be all over the place around you, having you do the same. I hope these points help you to determine if the friends in your life are actually friends. Listen, it's okay to be alone because you're not alone. You got God with you. See, before God shoots you out, he pulls you to himself. He pulls you to his heart. And then when he sets you out to be a part of something. Not everybody that calls you friend is a friend. And not everyone who you call friend is a friend. There are counterfeit friends in our world. There are people who are counterfeits. People who are trying to force themselves to fit into your life for ulterior motives. You want a counterpart. You want a person that God has placed on the counter of your life to play a part in your life. I hope this video was a blessing to you. You know you got a lot to think about today. Today, I want you to take some time to think about your friends and utilize those 6 points to see if they truly are a friend. Are they subtracting or are they adding to your life? I pray this video was a blessing. I'll see y'all next time. Peace. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you got a lot out of it. I hope it really got you thinking about the friends you have in your life. But before you finish this video, make sure you check out the links in the description box below. Links for books, links for card games, links to my Patreon for all my doers out there. And make sure you go check out this book right here, Counterfeit or Counterpart. Discernment is key in life. Make sure you check it out. Links in the description box below. Comment. Let me know what you got out of this video. Also, share this video with someone that you know needs this support in their life. I love you all. I'll see you on the next video. Y'all take care. Peace.